That was Tyler Carre joining us from New Caledonia, where he's staying at the Hilton Hotel, caught up in the political unrest there. Well, more than 800 companies and institutions in Germany were victims of cyber attacks last year, according to new figures. Criminals are increasingly attacking from abroad, with the government warning about attacks from Russia in particular. Deutsche Welle correspondent Thomas Sparrow joins us now from Berlin. Hi there, Thomas. Now, according to these new figures, just how big of a problem are these cyber attacks, and have there been any high-profile cases?
It is indeed a big problem, according to German authorities. In fact, it is a problem that is growing and becoming more challenging. And one of the elements why it's becoming very challenging is because of the high number of companies and organizations affected by cyber attacks last year. So around 800 of them, according to German officials, with an economic damage in 2023 of around 148 billion euros. And it's not only about the economic damage, it's not only about the challenge that this poses to German authorities, it's also about the political impact. If you look at certain high-profile cases that happened last year here in Germany, in particular, a cyber attack that affected Germany's ruling Social Democrats, so the party of German Chancellor Olaf Scholz. And only recently, the German government summoned a top envoy from Russia after accusing Russia of being behind that cyber attack. So there are political components to these big cyber attacks. There are also very high economic impacts to this cyber attack situation. And all in all, German officials are stressing that it is a challenge that they have to face both internally, but also obviously through international cooperation.
Yeah, of course. So, Thomas, what more have authorities had to say about any of the alleged perpetrators?
They have essentially said that most of them act anonymously and in a decentralized way, and that most cyber attacks here in Germany are carried out from abroad, or at least from an unknown location. And that poses obviously a significant challenge for authorities trying to find individual perpetrators. And that's why the focus has not only been on trying to find those individuals, but also on trying to dismantle some of the structures that they have put in place to carry out the cyber attacks. So networks, platforms, marketplaces, especially underground, in the underground economic structures on the darknet, for example. That is one of the key areas of focus of German authorities, but they have also stressed that there is a very high potential dark figure of unreported cases, again, because these people seem to act in a decentralized way and in an anonymous way as well. Again, that's why authorities are stressing that this has to be done also with international cooperation, in other words, working hand in hand with officials from other countries, especially here in Europe.
So, Thomas, what practical measures is the government doing to combat this threat?
Specifically, obviously, trying to focus on the individuals behind it, on the structures behind it. But one area that German officials have also focused on is in trying to prepare individuals and organizations so that they can also focus on potential loopholes that they might have during these times in their organization, in the company. So it's not only a challenge or a task for German authorities when it comes to dealing with cyber attacks, it's also a challenge that German authorities believe has to be done by private institution organizations and also by individuals. So there are those two big components. On the one hand, the official component, that's a component that has to be done specifically by German institutions, by government officials, but there's also this element of preparing individuals and companies to deal with the issue as well.
Deutsche Welle correspondent Thomas Sparrow, thank you. It is time for a check of the weather now. Here's Eleni Roussos.